Hello everyone, my name is Christian, welcome to my hobby blog. So I just finished watching Blade of the Immortal, which is Takashi Miike's 100th film, which I totally forgot about when I started. But oh my god, shockingly this might be my favorite Takashi Miike film. I mean, it just blew me out of the water. And the basic premise of the movie is that this legendary sword fighter gets hunted down by bounty hunters and like 100 samurai, and he's trying to help some woman who he's disguising as his sister, and they run into the bounty hunter and his 100 samurai, and then the legendary sword fighter whose name is Machi or Manji. That's the name. I have the character list up now for some reason. I didn't know, but yeah. So Manji and this woman like get in a tussle, I guess, with the bounty hunter, and the bounty hunter takes the woman and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill this person," and he's like, "No," and he drops the weapons, and they kill her anyways. So he goes into like battle rage and kills 100 people, and leaves the bounty hunter who like fights with sickles attached to chains, which is awesome. And Takashi Miike's, I mean, throughout the entire movie, but especially this intro scene, you really see the wondrous, like, Takashi Miike gore, which I'm a huge fan of. So, but the rest of the movie is basically right after he kills the bounty hunter, some mysterious woman shows up with bloodworms and puts it inside his body, thus making him immortal. And he won't die. Any injuries he takes, the worms stitch back the flesh, so he's good. And whenever a body part it cuts off, the worms like grab the body part and pull it back to where it's supposed to go. So it's really weird. It has that Takashi Miike weirdness, which I really love. But the main guy who plays Manji, by the way, is Takuya Kimura, who was in the really huge film Hero back in like 2004, maybe, I think. It's early 2000s to mid 2000s. But he was one of the villains, I believe. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. But he's really great in this. And there was a lot of pushback when he got casted, apparently. I was just doing some rudimentary research, but he really knocked it out, like, of the fucking park. I mean, I really enjoyed this movie. But he runs across a woman who's like 16, maybe 15, whose parents get murdered. And she's training at the dojo with her father to become like a master swordswoman. And the main guy, who is Kagehisa Enotsu, he's the villain. He leads like a specific dojo where he's trying to recruit all the best trainers of like sword form. And so yeah, that's the entire movie. Is so they go to this woman's father's dojo, and her name is Ren Asano, who is played by Hana Sugisaki, who um Takashi Miike discovered because she did a commercial on stir fried rice, and he was like, "Yeah, I want her. I want her for this movie," and she accepted. It's her first Takashi Miike film, and she was amazing. She knocked it out of the park. Her acting was just like phenomenal. There's many scenes of her just like crying because I mean it's Takashi Miike. He's got to put his characters through a lot of trauma. But it's funny because I looked her up after because I was like, who is this woman? Because she's actually a year younger than me, born on the same day, so October 2nd, except she's born a year, later than me. So that was really fun. I mean, I also share a birthday with Gandhi, I believe. It's weird. October 2nd is a popular, birthday, I guess. But she was really great in it. And so what she does is she recruits the immortal samurai, who's now like 90 something years old, but his body hasn't like decayed or anything. He's just been living out in the middle of nowhere. And so he's just like hanging around, just kind of waiting, and he is reinvigorated by this girl who parents got killed, and the mother was stolen, well not stolen, but kidnapped and became like a slave to the like gang, I guess. And so she's like, I want to get revenge, but I really suck at sword fighting. So he's like, okay, fine, I will. And the rest of the movie is them slowly killing everyone until they get to the top. And it's a 2.5 hour movie. It's really fucking long. And I was enamored all throughout the film. There was not a, I mean, there were slow points, but it was moments where I was shocked that Takashi Miike just really, like, it reminded me of his remake of Harakiri, Death of a Samurai, I think is the title. But Harakiri is a classic 1950s samurai film about, the samurai, his entire family dies and he tries to commit suicide at a specific swords, like samurai retainer guy. And he is, ends up this history between them and is fascinating. But it reminded me of Takashi Miike's remake of that movie, which was just as good as the original. So I think he needs to stop making Yakuza films and focus on samurai films, because each one that he has made has just been really great. I mean, 13 Assassins was the first Takashi Miike film I ever saw. I didn't realize it was him. I just saw it on Netflix. I was like, I'll watch it. And I love that one too. But this one I loved even more. I mean, it's up there with like Kurosawa. And I don't say that often, or really ever. But it's as good as a Kurosawa film. The cinematography was just really good. The acting was amazing. The blood spatter was just insane. I mean, we do get a body explosion towards the end, which was nice because Takashi Miike always has that bombastic, violent, scene. And throughout the entire movie, it's just hoses going off on people and limbs flying everywhere. It's just really amazing. But I'm trying to think. Anything else I want to talk about? Because this movie was just incredible. I think Era Video has released this, which I need to go get that immediately and not buy Vinegar Syndrome stuff for a while and just focus back on this genre. Because holy fuck. This was his 100th movie. I think I said that, but it was 2017. And his latest movie, which is called like The Great Yokai War, is actually going to be in the Era Video box set, the Yokai collection. That's his latest movie, and the main woman, Hana Sugisaki, is in the movie. So I'm really excited to see her again, like a couple years later, and see what she can bring. Because she was... So this was 2016, 2017, roughly, filming. She was about 19, maybe 20 years old. So she knocked it out of the park. I mean, she was just really amazing. But this is based off of a manga series, which I was not really surprised about because they just told you in the intro, like, hey, this is an adaptation. And I was looking up what the author thought, the artist who made the original manga, and it had just finished before Takashi Miike started filming and did all that. Because he's a huge fan of the manga series. He was like, I want to do that. I'm going to shorten it a bit because it is like bunches of volumes and issues and all that. So apparently the author loved it. He thought it was a perfect adaptation of his work. And so I really want to read the manga now. Apparently it's one of the most popular. I've never heard of it. But God, I just love this movie. I think everybody should watch this. I think it's really good. It takes the great tropes of the samurai genre of revenge and honor and all that, and just puts it up even higher than what I'm used to. Because outside of the Kurosawa samurai films and like that classic era, along with Zatoichi, this one's up there. I mean, it's better than a good number of the Zatoichi films, and I love those too. It's up there with Kurosawa and his films. So I don't want this to go over 10 minutes, but yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I mean, it was just really incredible. I loved it. So thank you all for watching.